Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel, thank you. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Renegade Immortal based on novel. So let's start. Through this battle, Wang Lin realized that the G realm wasn't invincible. There were things in this world that could resist, or even counter it. Of course, if he could cultivate the G realm to its peak, then it was not an issue, but cultivating the G realm was simply too hard. As a result, magic treasures became very important. He didn't want to place all of his hope on his G realm, because if his G realm ever becomes ineffective, then all will be for nothing. Staring at the 3 bags of holding, Wang Lin took a deep breath. He waved the restriction flag, and it surrounded the area in black smoke. Then, he pointed at his brow and the 2 devils came out to guard him. After hesitating a bit, he didn't call out the puppet. The puppet had suffered damage in the battle with Ting Wan and was no longer fit to guard. After doing all that, Wang Lin became serious and picked up a bag of holding. This bag of holding belonged to Ancient Emperor. The word, Lan, was embroidered on the bag. Wang Lin pondered a little, then the spiritual energy in his body surged. The avatar that was acting as his nascent soul opened its eyes and slivers of spiritual pressure emitted from his body, as his right hand slowly moved toward the bag. The moment his hand touched the bag, a powerful force resisted him. His heart sank as he realized that Ancient Emperor wasn't dead. He took a deep breath and pressed his hand on the bag. With each press, a sliver of Ancient Emperor's divine sense was removed, but it is very slow and at the same time, the backlash Wang Lin felt increased. After half an hour, Wang Lin's forehead was filled with sweat. He took a deep breath and took out a few pills to help stabilize his body. He clenched his teeth, activated his G realm in his right hand, and pressed it on the bag along with his spiritual energy. This time, the speed increased greatly, but Wang Lin's spiritual energy consumption increased too. After he consumed several bottles of pills, a white light suddenly peered out from the bag of holding and dissipated. Wang Lin relaxed and revealed an excited expression. He quickly scanned the bag with his divine sense, but he soon revealed a weird expression. There were very few things inside the Ancient Emperor's bag of holding. Aside from 2 top-quality spirit stones, there was only an ancient sword sheath. Wang Lin took out the sword sheath. He looked at the sword sheath for a long time, then his brow tightened. This sword sheath looked exactly like the one he had, only the symbol was different. After hesitating for a bit, Wang Lin took out his own sword sheath. Just as he was about to compare the 2 sword sheaths, the symbol on both sheaths began to glow. After a long time, the light slowly disappeared. Wang Lin stared at the sword sheaths. In his heart, he felt that there was some secret about the sword sheaths. He looking at them for a while, then put away the 2 sword sheaths. He then slapped Ancient Emperor's bag of holding and it turned into dust. Wang Lin sighed. After putting so much effort into opening up the bag of holding to only receive this strange thing, he wasn't sure if he should rejoice or feel helpless. He hesitated for a while and looked at the other 2 bags of holding. One of them belonged to the mysterious mummy in the battle temple of Hufen. The other contained more than 10 magic treasures. These belonged to those ancient cultivators from the land of the ancient gods. However, they were too powerful. Wang Lin tried all he could and he only managed to take control of the bronze mirror. However, the bronze mirror didn't seem that powerful, which confused him. He picked up this bag of holding and scanned it with his divine sense. The protective barrier on these magic treasures was still active, and they were not something Wang Lin could break through. Wang Lin felt like he was looking at a mountain of treasures, but he couldn't get them no matter what. After letting out a sigh, Wang Lin took out a bag of holding and scanned it with his divine sense. He felt a resistance, so Wang Lin clenched his teeth and used all of his spiritual energy and G realm to wipe the divine sense off the bag. But the moment his spiritual energy touched the bag, his body shook and he felt his own consciousness move far away. He saw a familiar area before him as an evil-looking young man flew at a speed that Wang Lin couldn't believe was possible. The youth suddenly stopped. He raised his head and his eyes turned cold as he said, "You won't be able to run away." Wang Lin's thoughts turned into a mess. He hesitated for a bit and his eyes turned cold. Although he couldn't see through the youth's cultivation level, based on that speed, the evil-looking youth's cultivation level was far above his. Wang Lin especially noticed that the land the youth was flying over was the Sea of Devils. Clearly, the evil-looking youth was that mummy in Hu Fen. Since Wang Lin took his bag of holding, he was here to get it back. If the person didn't reveal killing intent, then Wang Lin wouldn't mind giving back the bag of holding. However, since that person released a powerful killing intent, that meant that even if Wang Lin gave back the bag of holding, he wouldn't be forgiven. As a result, Wang Lin's heart couldn't help but sink. He hesitated for a while and immediately increased the power of his spiritual energy and Ji realm to wipe away the divine sense. Time slowly passed. Although the divine sense on the bag of holding slowly disappeared, at this speed, it would take a few hundred years to completely remove it. Wang Lin pondered for a while. His eyes lit up as he came up with an idea, but it was not the time to put that plan to action yet. He knew that he was short on time and immediately stood up. He looked toward the direction of Ting Family City, as his eyes grew cold. He muttered, "Ting Huiyuan, I'm coming." In these past few days, almost every one of the Ting family members had arrived at Ting Family City. They thought that it was the only safe place. Ting Huiyuan looked at all of his Ting family members gathered here, and became even more gloomy. He knew that Wang Lin must already be on the way here. The entire Ting Family City was in a state of panic. After the Ting family members entered Ting Family City, they immediately found the reason why the Ting ancestor hadn't gone out to kill that person. It was not that he didn't want to leave, but the area 10,000 kilometers around the Ting Family City was surrounded by a restriction that allowed people to enter, but not leave. As a result, panic spread throughout the city. At the same time, rumors of the mysterious killer spread through the Ting family. Almost every one of the Ting family members was speculating about what kind of grudge this mysterious person had with the Ting family that made him want to exterminate the entire family. Various versions of the story spread between the Ting family members. There were even some versions that were very close to the truth. Although Ting Huiyuan tried to stop the rumors, under this state of panic, it was not something that people could stop. Gradually, the fear among the Ting family became even worse. This sunny and cloudless day was the 9th day after the killing of the Ting family began. In the entire country of Zhao, any location that had been occupied by Ting family members had no more Ting family members. They had all either been killed or had fled to Ting Family City. This was the day that the Ting family will be wiped out. Even hundreds of years from now, when people of Zhao talk about this day, they will shiver. This day was the day that the entire balance of power in Zhao changed. It was also the day that a river of blood flowed in Zhao. On this day, the blood from Ting Family City was enough to cover the earth. Also, this day was also the day that everyone in Zhao heard the name Wang Lin, the white-haired cultivator that caused everyone's hearts to turn cold. At the same time, it was also when Wang Lin's name replaced Punnan Zi's as the #1 cultivator in Zhao, and when the older generation fell. Early morning, tens of thousands of kilometers from Ting Family City, Wang Lin was flying on the mosquito beast. Although the bodies behind him had started to rot, under the effect of his technique, the heads remained in perfect condition. This was because Wang Lin had made the promise to build a tower out of the Ting family members' heads. Wang Lin put the last head at the top of the tower. He waved his hand and the tower followed behind him as he slowly walked into the restriction that covered the 10,000 kilometer radius of Ting Family City. Ting Huiyuan, I, Wang Lin, am here. Today, no one will be left alive. I won't stop until I die. A voice filled with hate transmitted toward Ting Family City. Before that moment, the Ting family had never before been in silence, but the silence was soon replaced by screams of fear. At almost the exact same time, some of the experts of the Ting family noticed the giant tower made of heads. Gradually, more and more people saw the tower and the fear instantly spread. Ting Huayon stood on top of the inner wall with a gloomy face. At his side were 4 people. These were the last 4 remaining nascent soul cultivators of the Ting family. The 4 disappeared under the order of Ting Huiyuan. When they reappeared, they were already 1,000 feet away from Wang Lin. They quickly took out their magic treasures and used them against Wang Lin. How could Wang Lin's vengeance be stopped by just the four of them? Although Wang Lin looked calm, there was a sliver of madness in his heart. Today, he will vent these past 400 years of anger. Today, will become a madman, a bloodthirsty madman. Almost without any hesitation, the moment the four nascent soul cultivators appeared, Wang Lin's G realm moved. Thanks to a series of red lightning bolts, the four nascent soul cultivators let out miserable screams before they could even use their magic treasures. The G realm formed a cage and trapped the four nascent soul cultivators. At the same time, Wang Lin rushed into the cage. His hand moved like a knife and cut off that person's head. He then kicked the head toward the tower. The tower of heads gained another head. Blood spouted out like a fountain and spread all over the ground. Wang Lin suddenly turned. A flying sword had appeared in his hand. The attack of the flying sword made another head fall to the ground. The tower of heads gained another head. This all happened very quickly. In almost an instant, 2 of the 4 had died. The other 2 were trapped inside the cage, unable to resist. Filled with intense hatred, Wang Lin shouted, "Kill!" The G realm cage closed in and cut through the remaining 2 nascent soul cultivators. Blood rained down along with chunks of meat. However, under Wang Lin's control, their heads remained intact. The tower of heads gained another 2 heads. After killing the 4 people, Wang Lin stood straight up as he looked toward Ting Huiyuan with a cruel smile. When he saw that smile, Ting Huiyuan's heart became very cold. 4 nascent soul cultivators were so easily killed. What level of cultivation had this Wang Lin reached? Ting Huiyuan's scalp tingled. His previous assumption was incorrect. The restriction around the city wasn't set by someone else, but by this fiend, Ting Huiyuan. "I'm here." Wang Lin's eyes were filled with hatred, but his actions were very calm. He even smiled. As he was speaking, his right hand reached out and turned into a giant hand. He swept the hand across the city and grabbed more than a dozen people while they screamed in fear. Among these people were males and female, cultivators and mortals. The moment Wang Lin's words came out, he squeezed with his hand and all of their bodies exploded, leaving only their heads intact. Blood dripped all over Ting family city. One drop even landed on Ting Huiyuan's face, causing him to tremble. The tower of heads gained another 19 heads, Wang Lin. A huge killing intent emitted from Ting Huiyuan. He waved his hand. Suddenly, a golden flag appeared in his grasp. With a swing, the flag released a gas. The gas turned into a giant skull. The skull let out a roar and charged toward Wang Lin. Wang Lin's expression remained calm as he slapped his bag of holding and took out a soul flag. He shook the flag and thousands of screaming souls floated out. "Ting Huiyuan, back then, you threatened me with the souls of my family. Today, I will repay you in the same way. You can devour as many of them as you like. It will be a great loss, but I won't be heartbroken over it." Wang Lin's voice was dull, but as he was speaking, he waved his right hand and over 100 Ting family members floated into the air. No matter how much they struggled, it was futile. This time, Ting Huiyuan let out a roar as he waved his hand and a strange gust of wind flew out, trying to cut off Wang Lin's technique. Wang Lin sneered. His G realm shot out. The moment it hit, the strange wind dissipated. Wang Lin clenched his right hand and over 100 people exploded. Blood rained from the sky. This time, none of the Ting family members were able to withstand this kind of tension. No one knew who did it first, but everyone scattered on their flying swords in all directions. Wang Lin let out a cruel smile. He pointed his finger into the air, and the thousands of souls of the Ting family charged toward the escaping Ting family members to devour them. Ting Huiyuan's body moved. He clenched his teeth and waved his flag. The golden skull turned into over 1,000 skulls and charged toward those souls. Ting Huiyuan's heart was bleeding. This was no different than killing his family members himself. Wang Lin's body disappeared and reappeared next to an escaping Ting family member. This was a youth. He was only at the third layer of qi condensation. Only 3 days ago, he felt proud to be named Ting, but now, he only wished he had nothing to do with the Ting family. However, he never had a chance. The last thing he saw was the white-haired youth that struck fear into his heart. A cold hand reached out to his neck and snapped it. After killing one person, Wang Lin disappeared and reappeared next to another Ting family member. Although this person was a very enchanting girl, to Wang Lin, she was only a dead person. Wang Lin wouldn't show any mercy just because she was a girl, because the Ting family couldn't live in the same world as the Wang family. After crushing her neck, Wang Lin disappeared again. Ting Huiyuan let out a roar and charged forward. However, he was a bit slower than Wang Lin, so every time he tried to intercept Wang Lin, he only saw the Ting family losing another member. This situation of watching your family members die one by one while being unable to do anything was about to drive Ting Huiyuan mad. At that moment, he suddenly saw Wang Lin appear next to a young boy. This was the 7th-generation grandson, who he personally saw growing up, No. Ting Huiyuan's eyes were red and he charged forward. Wang Lin coldly looked at Ting Huiyuan, who was charging over, as he pressed his hand on the boy's forehead. The boy looked at Wang Lin with hatred as Wang Lin sent spiritual energy into his hand, causing the boy to explode into a bloody mess. In your next life, don't be named Ting. After Wang Lin was finished killing, he disappeared again. Ting Huiyuan stared dumbfoundedly at the bloody mess that was his grandson. Then, he let out a painful roar. Wang Lin. Wang Lin's body reappeared 1,000 feet away. He said, "Does it hurt? Back then, when you killed my family, my heart also hurt." With that, he randomly slapped the air with his right hand and a Ting family member, who was running away in panic, turned into mush. Ting Huiyuan ferociously roared, "I killed your entire family, because you killed my grandson, Ting Li." Nonsense. Is only your Ting family allowed kill people? Can't others resist? Wang Lin let out a cold laugh. He slapped his bag of holding and more than 10 flying swords came out. Once again, dozens more died before Ting Huiyuan. Ting Huiyuan clenched his fist. He waved the flag and all of the golden skulls flew toward Wang Lin. Wang Lin slapped his bag of holding and the restriction flag appeared in his hand. With a wave, black smoke appeared and completely trapped the golden skulls. Wang Lin's eyes lit up as he asked, "Ting Huiyuan, how did you find my hometown?" Ting Huiyuan's expression changed as he stared at Wang Lin with deep hatred and said, "You will never know." Wang Lin's face sank. He waved his hand and more than 10 restrictions flew out. More than 100 Ting family members screamed as they died. "Are you going to talk?" Ting Huiyuan slapped his bag of holding and a giant sword flew out. The sword looked very ancient. He bit the tip of his tongue and spat out fresh blood. His entire body looked weaker afterwards, but the large sword started glowing and flew towards Wang Lin like lightning. Wang Lin's eyes lit up. The moment the giant sword flew out, his G realm moved. A series of red lightning bolts shot out and surrounded the sword in an instant. After a series of cracking sounds, the giant sword slowly broke down. In the end, the G realm was used up and the giant sword turned to dust. Wang Lin reached for his bag of holding and took out several nascent souls that he had gotten from Ting family members. He consumed them to quickly recover the used up energy. Ting Huiyuan stared dumbfoundedly at where the sword disappeared. His entire person suddenly became older. Wang Lin formed a seal with his right hand. He pressed it on his forehead and the devil Shuligua, and the third devil quickly flew out. Under Wang Lin's command, they let out excited roars and charged toward the Ting family members. In the blink of an eye, several more people screamed miserably as they died. Every scream caused Ting Huiyuan's body to tremble. "Are you going to talk?" Wang Lin's voice was as cold as ice. Ting Huiyuan took a deep breath and closed his eyes. Wang Lin's face had no expression. He didn't even look at Ting Huiyuan as his hands formed seals and he sent out a restriction. The restriction that surrounded Ting family city slowly shrank. The people that made it to the edge of the restriction looked at it in despair. When they saw the walls closing in, the Ting family members split into two groups. One group completely gave up, while the eyes of the people in the other group grew red, and they charged toward Wang Lin with their magic treasures like moths to a flame. More and more Ting family members charged toward Wang Lin. However, whenever they got within 1,000 feet of Wang Lin, they would be hit by a restriction. Their bodies would explode, creating a rain of blood that fell to the ground. His family's miserable screams entered Ting Huayuan's ears. His body trembled violently, and his heart was filled with grief. He wanted to resist, but not even the magic treasure gifted by the higher rank cultivation country was of any use. Ting Huayuan's appearance became even older. He no longer had the majestic complexion he once had. The only thing left was an old man, who couldn't do anything as he watched his family die. "I'll speak." Ting Huayuan revealed a deep hatred in his eyes as he looked at Wang Lin and said, word for word, "Since my Ting family has met with such disaster, then no one else should think of getting away either." Back then, it was the Piao Miao sect's Gao Chiming who used his heaven calculation skill to help me find the Wang family. It was him. Go find him. He is the first ancestor of the Piao Miao sect. His word is law at the Piao Miao sect, Gao Chiming. Wang Lin stared at Ting Huayuan. It didn't matter if Ting Huayuan was lying or not. Wang Lin remembered this name. Looking at Ting Huayuan, Wang Lin's gaze suddenly shifted into the distance. His eyes were filled with killing intent. He waved his hand and the restriction, that was slowly shrinking, suddenly started to close in a lot faster. It went from 10,000 kilometers away to only few kilometers away in an instant. During the process, the people that died weren't even able to let out screams. At the same time, the heads flew one by one due to the effect of some mysterious force and landed on the Tower of Heads. The tower was now so tall, it touched the sky. At this point, everyone in the Ting family, besides Ting Huayuan, had died. On the ground, the blood flowed like a river. The thick stench of blood was in the air. While staring dumbfoundedly at the scene before him, Ting Huayuan suddenly started to laugh. His laugh was filled with sorrow as two streams of blood flowed down his cheeks. Wang Lin calmly looked at Ting Huayuan. After a long time, Ting Huayuan took a deep breath. He raised his head toward Wang Lin. His voice was filled with a sense of indignation as he said, "Good, good. From now on, the grudge between your Wang family and my Ting family is gone. I killed your entire family and you killed my family. It is karma, it really is. Wang Lin, you can kill me now." Wang Lin raised his right hand. His finger radiated a golden light. He moved the spiritual energy in his body to gather at his fingertip. But just at that moment, a loud roar came from the distance. "Stop!" Hearing this voice, Ting Huayuan immediately recognized that it was Punnan Zi. He became excited and knew that he might have a chance to live today. His gaze toward Wang Lin was now filled with killing intent. His urge to live suddenly kicked in. If he had a sliver of a chance to live, then he wouldn't allow himself to be killed so easily. What grudge between the two families was gone? He only said it because he thought that he was going to die for sure. If he survives today, he will have to find a way to reach the spirit-severing stage no matter the cost, so that he could kill Wang Lin as cruelly as possible to get revenge. However, he thought too highly of Punnan Zi and underestimated Wang Lin. Wang Lin's divine sense was as powerful as a spirit-severing cultivator's divine sense. How could he not notice Punnan Zi from far away, and let Punnan Zi stop him? The moment Punnan Zi appeared, Wang Lin flicked the golden light on his finger onto Ting Huayuan's forehead and killed him. It was indeed as Ting Huayuan said, the grudge between the Ting family and Wang family was gone. The Ting family was now completely wiped out from this world. Punnan Zi's figure suddenly appeared before him. He looked at all of the blood on the ground, at the body of Ting Huayuan, whose face had just gained a hint of an urge to live, and finally at the Tower of Heads. He couldn't help but shiver. He barely hesitated to form a seal with his hand. Beams of green and red light shot out from his bag of holding. Wang Lin's expression was calm as he stared at Pun Nanzi and said, "You're late." Pun Nanzi looked at Wang Lin. He was stunned. After carefully looking at Wang Lin, he said, You are a disciple of the Hengyu sect." Wang Lin looked at Pun Nanzi and without a word, his G realm shot out. However, just as the red lightning bolt arrived before Pun Nanzi, the green and red lights formed a shield before him. The moment the G realm landed, the two lights shone brightly. Ultimately, the two lights managed to block the G realm, but their lights dimmed greatly. Pun Nanzi's expression changed greatly. Without wasting a moment, he bit the tip of his tongue and spat blood onto the green and red lights. Pun Nanzi pointed at Wang Lin and shouted, "Go." Suddenly, the green and red lights darted forward. The space around them tore as they moved. Wang Lin's right hand pointed and all of the restrictions in the restriction flags came out in the shape of dragons to stop the advancement of the green and red lights. But the quality of the green and red lights was extremely high. The restrictions were only able to slow it down a bit, not stop it. Wang Lin's eyes lit up as his G realm appeared again. Its target wasn't the green and red lights. It was Pun Nanzi. Pun Nanzi's expression changed greatly. Just as Pun Nanzi was facing a life and death situation, a giant hand appeared out of nowhere and grabbed the G realm lightning. The hand lightly squeezed and the red lightning bolt was destroyed, but at the same time, the giant hand shook and let out a soft grunt. Soon, a middle-aged man wearing luxurious clothes over a somewhat fat belly appeared before Pun Nanzi. He looked at Wang Lin and was startled, but soon revealed a look of ecstasy and said, "So it was you." With that, he waved his right hand and the green and red lights quickly returned and flew around him. After the middle-aged man appeared, Pun Nanzi relaxed a bit. He bowed and said, "Greetings, Lord Messenger." Although Pun Nanzi relaxed a lot, his scalp was still tingling. He didn't know what kind of magic treasure that red lightning was, but when it closed in, he felt like he could die instantly. That sense of danger was something that he had only felt from the foreign battleground before. He didn't have any doubt that if the Lord Messenger hadn't appeared, he would have been a corpse right now. He looked at Wang Lin. Aside from a deep sense of fear, there was also a sense of regret. The middle-aged man stared at Wang Lin and slowly said, "I can't believe you didn't die, and in just a short 400 years reached such a high cultivation level. Very good. Hand over the heaven-defying bead, and I'll spare your life. I'll let you become the #1 person in Zhao. How's that sound?" Wang Lin's expression was calm. This person's appearance was within his calculations. He felt this person's presence when he was 10,000 kilometers away. This person was the messenger from Heaven's Tower, someone from a rank 4 country. Wang Lin guessed that his cultivation level was spirit severing. If he wasn't spirit severing, then how could he so easily destroy the G realm lightning? This person knowing that Wang Lin had the heaven-defying bead was also something that he had considered in his plan for revenge. So when he was in Zhao, he kept the entire country covered in his divine sense. That way, with his spirit-severing level divine sense, no one would be able to identify him. And no one could lock onto him with their divine sense. That was why this messenger never came out to find him during his killing spree. In fact, the middle-aged man had felt a headache in these past few days, because no matter how much he scanned Zhao with his divine sense, he couldn't find the person that was killing all of the Ting family members. Unless that person's divine sense was more powerful than Wang Lin's, it was impossible to sense him. It has to be said, although his cultivation level hadn't increased in the past 400 years, only in the early stage of spirit severing, no one in Zhao could surpass him. He never could have guessed that although Wang Lin's cultivation level was only at the early stage of nascent soul, Wang Lin's divine sense was as powerful as a late-stage spirit-severing cultivator's divine sense. Even if that messenger from the giant demon sect came in person, he also wouldn't be able to find Wang Lin. This kind of thing was extremely rare in the cultivation world. After all, Wang Lin was the only soul devourer walking around as a human. Also, there was that strange, red lightning. Although the middle-aged man made it look like he easily withstood the attack, In truth, the red lightning entered his body and damaged his soul. The damage wasn't very large, but it still made him afraid. After seeing the messenger appear, Wang Lin's eyes lit up and without a word he took out a drop of blood. A drop of golden-colored blood. A drop of golden-colored blood that was emitting the pressure of the ancient god. Wang Lin's eyes glowed with killing intent as he said, "I have been waiting for you for a long time." His right hand lightly pointed at the golden drop of blood. The blood suddenly started to boil. It turned into a golden symbol and flew into the sky. This video will end here. Thank you for watching.